Hello everyone, this is Chiara. I am the founder and director of Alternative Processes. I am currently in my studio, garden and darkroom. And I thought it was time for me to open a YouTube channel and take you on the journey with me of my experiments, the processes that I do here. So today we are going to take a look at anthotypes. I'm going to show you how to do an anthotype using petals from various different flowers. But today specifically, we're going to look at iris, which is a beautiful flower that grows pretty much everywhere. It grows spontaneously everywhere here in Tuscany, in this region, is native to these areas. And it has some very interesting particular characteristics that I'm going to show you in a bit. So here we are in the garden. The landscape looks very, very dramatic today. But let me show you the iris. So this is the flower. It's very beautiful, elegant. This is a perennial. This is the leaf. It's a perennial plant. It's very, very sturdy, super hard to kill. They have roots that are super shallow. They're right here. If I dig a little bit, you can see them. I won't do that though. And the bulbs look like the tulips bulbs, but unlike tulips, these roots, they spread under the soil and duplicate and sprout new flowers every season. The bulbs, the tulips bulbs, they basically sprout one flower and then you have to replant them. So this is super sustainable. They don't need any water. They just grow on their own, basically. Look how pretty. Anthotypes rely on the light-sensitive properties of plant pigments. These pigments are extracted from fruit, vegetables, petals, anything that you can think of that has some pigments in it. Think of anthocyanins like berries, blueberries, raspberries. Think of tannins, for example, avocado pits and skin. These pigments are unstable when they are exposed to UV radiation. They absorb and react to light, and the light and the air causes them to bleach. And this process is called photobleaching. Basically, light and air disrupt their molecule structure and it causes them to degrade over time. And different pigments degrade at different rates. Anthocyanins are much more sensitive to light and air than tannins, for example. And iris flowers, so what I'm doing now is I'm trying to remove anything that isn't purple, because it could alter I'm sure this would be fine, but in many cases you want to remove the stems of the flowers because they may alter the color, and more often than not you might get a really sad brown out of your maybe beautifully red and pink flowers. So it's important to remove as much as we can. So iris flowers, especially these ones, the purple variety, contains a very high concentration of anthocyanins. So anthocyanins, like many other pigments, are water soluble, meaning that they can easily dissolve in water-based solutions. And this is what we're gonna do now. We also have ethanol here to help us extract the pigment more effectively. And another really cool characteristic of anthocyanins is that they are pH indicators, meaning that they react to pH changes in their environment. So for example, if I'm adding citric acid or alcohol vinegar to the solution, it shifts color. If I'm adding sodium carbonate, so a more alkaline compound, it shifts to a different color. So they can shift color depending on alkalinity or acidity of their environment. So here we go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a few drops of ethanol. Usually these bottles are about 15 euros per liter. But it lasts forever. You really need the tiniest amount for this, because the more diluter you add in anthotypes, the more bland the color will look like. Of course, the pigment is diluted, and so it's not going to be as vibrant. But of course, we need diluters because petals are very dry, and so we need something to help extract the color. So what we're going to do now is we're going to crush it as much as we can, and we're going to reduce it to a pulp, and then we're going to strain that pulp and obtain a very smooth, a very clear, without any plant matter emulsion. So we are doing a bit of a workout now. So what's really fantastic about the Anthotype process is that it involves absolutely no harmful chemicals. It's made entirely from natural ingredients, from plant-based pigments. It doesn't require electricity, it doesn't require a dark room, it doesn't require fixes, developers, so there's no heavy metals involved at all. And that's because the image is made by fading the pigment instead of stabilizing the pigment, instead of making which is kind of the staple of most chemical processes in photography, right? And the downside to that is that there is no way to fix the image. There is no way to make this image archival, because it will continue to fade and degrade over time. There are a few things you can do to make it last longer, but it won't be completely stable. It won't be something that it's going to be here in 10 years time, basically. And that's the beauty of it. It's ephemerality. This is what it looks like. We have quite a lot of liquid in there, and we have a pulp. So I'm gonna show you how to strain it now. All right, very well. You can already see, I don't know if it's in the frame, but you can see how intense the color is already. And every little bit of emulsion counts, because you get so little from so many flowers. You don't want to waste not even a drop. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna strain it. So we're gonna remove all the plant matter that I mashed, and our goal is to obtain a very pure, clean, with no bits and pieces of plants in it. The color of iris is very, very similar to red cabbage. They have a different pigment composition, but it reminds me a lot of red cabbage. The difference is that red cabbage needs to simmer for a while in order to release the pigment. You can juice it, but I kind of like simmer it better. And because you're extracting it like that, it's, you know, it's diluted with a lot of water. There is a cute little worm here that was probably inside the flowers that somehow survived all my mashing. I'm gonna release you in the garden. All right, so now we have our final emulsion, and we're gonna coat a piece of paper. We want a paper that is mostly cotton based, that is acid free, that is pH neutral. And we want something that isn't super absorbent, because we might lose a lot of emulsion. So we're gonna try these different paper types. So what happens if you don't strain your emulsion is that you get a lot of imperfection, like bits and pieces on your image, and it doesn't look great. So what I want to show you now is, I want to show you how drastically the color changes if we change the pH of this solution. The light isn't fantastic, but I hope you can see the color shift happening. So here we have citric acid, and we're gonna add just a bit. And you can see how much it has changed now. So in acidic environments, and you can use citric acid, you can use vinegar, you can use lemon drops as well, but it's not as effective. It turns red/pink. You can see how red it is. And in comparison, this is what it looked like before. What a difference. And now we're gonna turn this one a different color as well. While neutral is purple and acidic is pink, base is, so baking soda, sodium carbonate, calcium carbonate, it should turn blue or green. So now we have a blue and a pink. Alright, so we've coated all the paper and now I can show you the difference in color. So we have the neutral here. So these are two different paper types. So it's normal that it looks a little bit different. This is still wet. This is also wet. This is dry, but it's not very uniform. So we have neutral here. So neutral is usually very purple. And then we have acidic here, which is bright pink. And then we have alkaline here, basic, which is blue/green. So I'm gonna show you all these once they are dry. All right, everyone, they have now dried and there's been some very interesting color changes. These two here, these two are the alkaline ones that have been treated with sodium carbonate. And they turn towards, so when I brushed them on the paper, the color was more bluish, and now they've turned green. These are the acidic ones that have been treated with citric acid, and there's a lot of, this one's pink, very pink. These ones mix of colors, still interesting. And these are different kinds of paper. So this is a type of paper, this is another type. And these are the neutral pH ones that look very purple, and these ones more towards a darker blue. So I'm gonna prep them for exposure now.